Welcome back to another episode of the Legacy of Kain timeline. On the previous episode, the vampire Kain traveled to Avernus Cathedral and claimed the legendary Soul Reaver after being locked away for thousands of years, and encountered Azimuth and defeated her and found a time-streaming device, and Avernus was no longer in flames, and claimed Azimuth's third eye, and then met with King Otmar, the mighty Lion of Willendorf. Tasked the vampire to kill Elzevir the Dawnmaker, kill the human sorcerer, and restored Otmar's daughter, and then offered aid to face the legions of the Nemesis, and by victory the Nemesis won the war, and by that King Otmar was killed in battle, and then finally Kain found himself in another time or reality as the story continues of the Legacy of Kain.
At once the battlefield was gone. Where the ground was caked with blood and dirt, there was lush greenery. Where chaos reigned only moments before, this damning calm prevailed. Alas, it seemed I was stranded here. The time-streaming device lay in pieces at my feet.
Would you stand idle as vermin destroy your crops? No! As your house burned? No! Will you allow this evil to continue? No! Will the wickedness end? Yes! Do you believe? Yes! Yes! Then take me to your king, so that I can prepare you for the onslaught.
After witnessing the vision, Kain was confused by this and realized that the cloaked sorcerer was familiar, but didn't linger about it for too long, and moved on to find out where he is. But the question is when and what timeline?
So it seemed I was in the land of William the Just. 50 years before the battle I had just escaped would take place.
Kain continues down the path and enters the stronghold of William the Just.
The stronghold of William the Just. It was time for me to pay a visit to he who would become the Nemesis and force Nosgoth on its knees.
The time-streaming device carried Kain 50 years into the past, offering him a chance to change Nosgoth's fate, but the same sorcerer that Kain witnessed in his premonition was interacting with William the Just.
Yes, these weapons you have provided will see to that. Pray tell, Mobius, what game do you play? None, my lord. I only wish to aid you in vanquishing your foes. The weapons are but a token of my goodwill.
And the news you bring, a vampire said to slay me? Where did you come upon such knowledge?
'Tis of no consequence, sire. 'Twas only out of concern for your majesty's life.
Perhaps. Very well, then. You may leave me now, but should I wish to speak to you...
I will know, your majesty, and I shall be there in time.
After eavesdropping on their conversation, Kain noticed that William had the Soul Reaver in his possession and was manipulated by the sorcerer. Kain battled his way through the castle stronghold and finally faced the boy king William the Just in mortal combat.
Ah, yes, the vampire. Mobius told me you would come.
As his guards rushed to save him, William the Just's blood was already renewing my strength, replacing the life his sword had stolen from my veins. The poor fools, come to aid their fallen leader. Let us have some amusement.
The tyrannical boy king William the Just was dead, and the legions of Nemesis has crumbled along with him, and another time streaming device was found coincidentally in the stronghold.
A time streaming device. Strange. When coincidence seems too convenient, I prefer to call it fate. With William the Just dead, Mobius's plans have been thwarted. His pawn was removed from the game.
The time streaming device returned Kain back to his own time, and with William dead, the fate of Nosgoth has changed.
I found myself once more in the Nosgoth I knew. The carnage from battle was gone. Yet there was something amiss. From the distance, I heard cries, and a breeze from the south carried with it the faint odor of vampire blood.
Kain continues down the path, and from a distance he heard war cries and wondered where it was coming from, and found vampire hunters trying to kill him.
Twould seem the folly fell upon my own shoulders. With their sainted King William dead by my hand, the people of the land were consumed by a hunger all their own, for vampire blood. As I wandered about more, the shrieking and cheering became more apparent and defined. There was some sort of gathering to the south, for with each cheer, I smelled an outpour of blood. I make no pretense to justify my killing, yet these vampire hunters would cloak their bloodlust beneath a veil of righteousness. Hypocrites! They would make themselves judge and jury. Very well then, let us see how they take to my role as executioner.
Kain was sickened by these vampire hunters justifying their actions of killing, but nothing was more shocking than what he had witnessed.
Unholy scourge! Not yet, my friend. Would you be free of the plague if only one city was cleansed? No! Would you spare one wolf in the pack that has devastated your herd? No! Then let us destroy them all! Yeah! He is the last! Destroy him!
The people will not rest until Nosgoth is purged of your kind.
I had been betrayed. In my haste, I had not realized it before. That sigil on his forehead, the Oracle of Nosgoth, was in fact the time streamer Mobius, and I had followed his advice. How much of my quest was of his design? Willendorf? The Battle of the Last Stand? William the Just? Was this the trap he had fashioned for me?
We will send you back to the grave, whence you came, vampire. I have seen the future, Kain. You are not in it.
Kain was fueled with hatred to realize that the whole time the Oracle of Nosgoth was none other than Mobius the Time Streamer, and he was manipulating Kain throughout his whole journey.
Let us call upon the puppets from the past!
Mobius was conjuring vampire hunters and Kain's younger self from the past, but that proved nothing against the vampire.
From the present! Hey, Victor! Victor! And from ages yet. Hey, Victor!
Ironic. By going back in time and altering the past, you turned William the Just into the Nemesis.
Aye, you have seen my plan, vampire, as I've seen your destiny. The future says you die.
But I am dead. As are you.
Join me next time on the next Legacy of Kain timeline, episode 6, Vae Victis. As we finally conclude Kain's journey, the real truth has been revealed, and the mastermind who orchestrated the Pillar's corruption and Ariel's murder has finally been revealed. Kain's true purpose has been revealed, and he has to make a choice. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the season finale.